Welcome back.
There we go.
Weekend's Rugby League pod. This is the pod that tells it like it is. Welcoming everyone in. Ladies first. Tanya, welcome back.
Hello. Well, thank you.
Hey,
hello, everyone.
Hey, Tanya. Hey.
George, Artie.
How you going,
Hey,
guys?
Nicola.
All good?
How is everyone?
Sensational. Best time of the year.
It is. It's exciting.
Best time of the year.
It's winding down.
Yeah.
But how good is it? You know what?
Right.
I know it is, and I'm going to lose my personality very soon. But let me tell you, the next month,
Yeah, in the off
We're
season,
going-
George he's
Yeah,
like
no
a vampire.
personality.
He hibernates.
no
Oh,
personality.
same. I'm so sad.
Oh,
I
really?
started watching the EPL just so it would take me through, and I think I'm going to start watching Gridiron.
Good on.
Take me through.
Yeah,
March.
it started, didn't it?
Yeah, it
this
started
week.
last week. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going. I'm an NBA man. I watch the NBA, but I just watched the Liverpool special
Mhm.
on that COVID year, and
Yeah.
I might be getting the I think
Optus.
Where's that? Where'd you see that?
I'll show you when I get home. It's
Oh.
on the History Channel.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
And you know what? You're right about it. You're right
He's
about
special human.
it. Special human being.
He's the best human on the
Dude,
planet.
Klopp-
I love him to death.
Flop.
Well, best human,
Yeah.
special human being.
Oh, yeah.
Where's George? Where's the regular season?
It's in the can,
Regular
Nicola.
season. The whole
It's in the
season.
can. The whole season. Stuff it in the can,
Right.
mate. It's done and dusted.
So let's rip into controversy corner. The obvious one, Josh Addo Carr. What's doing? He's gone out. He's got on the drinks. Had a couple of bags delivered, doing bumps, and now in the week of the finals, apparently he's tested positive for a
Brain surgery.
roadside drug test.
Yeah, brain surgeon. Brain surgeon.
What the what?
Oh, I don't
The
know.
timing. How dare.
Someone fill me in. What's going on here? Does
Oh,
anyone know the
okay.
full story?
Actual
Apparently he
photo.
liked to feel good.
Wait a minute. T's got something. What do you got for me?
Is
T?
that the actual photo what you sent me?
No.
No, it's a jail.
Okay. You know what? I'll tell you. We always say what they do in their off time. We know, but we don't care.
Mm.
Don't care. We just don't want to know. We
It's the
just don't-
week of the final.
I know they're idiots. Okay, but I'll tell you one thing. Knowing Phil Gould, well, not knowing Phil Gould, but knowing his style. Addo Carr lied to Phil Gould. Let me suggest to you that he won't play another game for the Bulldogs.
You reckon he's on the outer?
Yeah, let me suggest to you he'll be on the open market.
Gould probably planted on him because he wanted him out like he wanted Pangai out.
Maybe he probably wanted the 800,000 back. Probably did knowing Gould.
It was in his kit bag.
Yeah.
What's this? Cops come. Shh. Whoa.
But seriously, man, the guy's
Guy's an
an,
idiot.
the guy's an illiterate moron as it is,
Absolutely.
brah. Right? What's the go in finals week?
What can I say? You know what? They're little children. They're little children which don't grow up. And the bad thing is what we spoke about last time. They get picked out of the system nice and young,
Mm.
and they don't allow the people around them don't allow them to grow as human beings. They get pampered and yes and yes and yes and yes, and this happens. So you know what?
But
Good-
even after
good luck
everything
to
that
him.
just happened with Mitchell,
Well, he's in his Kubado. I think they're
It's
Kubado.
terrible.
yeah, they're good. They're good.
Well,
friends.
there you go. Well, you know what? He'll get picked up somewhere because he's too good of a player not to get picked up.
How old is he? Is he
29.
Oh, 29. He's
So
still
he's
got a few years.
Yeah, he's in his peak.
So what was the story? So you just went out over the weekend, and was it another scenario that
From what I read today, he got a roadside drug test.
yeah.
and apparently tested positive. So they retest you, and it goes away to a lab, and it takes a few weeks to come back.
A lab.
Sorry,
A lab.
a lab. Yeah, like the police lab, or whatever.
Mm.
I don't know. I've never been drug tested, but the thing is, he tested positive roadside because they don't do a second sample if you test negative.
Exactly.
It's like an RBT. If you blow
Yeah.
on, they let you go, right?
Yeah.
But he lied to the club and said that he tested negative, and then he went out and bought a home testing kit
That's going to do it.
from the chemist.
That's going to do
And
it.
apparently he tested negative, and that's what he told Gus. But then he had to he had to obviously tell him the truth.
Mm.
But the really bad thing is that Gus released a public statement backing him based off what he initially told him
Mhm.
before he came forward and said, no, this is actually what happened. So he made Gould look like an idiot
Yeah, and
in
that's the-
public.
Did he buy a COVID test by accident if we are challenging his, smarts?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure that you can get them from chemists. You
You can
know,
get drug testing kits from the chemist.
Yeah,
but,
right.
But he failed the saliva swab on the roadside. So the next thing is a urine test, and it gets sent away to get tested. But there's apparently a backlog of
or in a replay.
Yeah, all the off-season guys, there's a backlog.
Apparently, there was in Sydney here. There was a blitz over the weekend. I didn't see anything this weekend. Apparently, there was a blitz over the weekend. I don't know, but
it's unacceptable at any level, right? Like when I was when we were talking about Latrell, mate, like, what are you doing? Or what's he doing driving? This is the other thing. Like, yes, Gus can be offended or, hurt or made to look bad. But imagine if he was driving and he hurt someone. Like, there's an extra layer to this as well, outside of making the club look bad, Gus look bad, himself, like tarnishing his brand, which I didn't think could get worse anyway. But you know what I mean? But there's, he's this is the problem that I have with these guys. Like, they're too liberal with their actions, But
we're
terrible.
being nice tonight.
It's the timing of it. It's just stupid. It's right before the finals. The team's finally got there. They haven't tasted finals since 2000 and what was it, George? 15 or something?
8 years ago.
Yeah. And they finally got there, and this
16.
guy goes out and does that on the eve of the final.
So now apparently he's
So
stood himself down
Yeah, exactly.
from this weekend.
And he didn't go to the yesterday was the club's awards night. So
He
told
was
him
told not to attend.
not to attend.
The
Yeah.
club's award
I
night.
don't think he should be going to something like I'm surprised something didn't come out of the awards night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. They should have tested them all today. I think George has got a point. I don't think we'll see him in a Bulldogs jersey again.
I really don't.
You don't know.
I really don't.
You never know.
Well, how do you feel, George? It's your team.
Look, as a player, yeah, he does things that others don't do, but as a representative for my club, like, no, thank you. Like Latrell, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Look, this is the irony, T. I keep on saying this. We know they're young men. I mean, he's only 28. Yeah. So we know what happens behind closed doors. We just don't want to know.
Seriously, 28, 29 is not young.
Well,
like, it's young, but it's not irresponsible young.
Well,
again, he's almost 30 years old.
Again, if they're gonna get pampered like Latrell and Addo Carr and all these other players who get pampered and never grow up, that's what happens. Now, I don't know. I don't know where this goes. And I know it's widespread. Every code in the world has these individuals, but again, we're going to keep on getting Latrells and Addo Carrs. You know what I mean? So it's not a good look for the game. It's not a good look for the game.
I was saying today, and this is applicable to the rest of what we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm in recruitment. You guys have obviously hired people. You've worked for people, previously, and managed people as well. So imagine if one of you guys has a role that you're recruiting for, and you've got a really good onboarding program. Like, someone's come through myself into a role, and I've got, I'm wearing the company t-shirt. I'm wearing the, I've got the business card. I've got everything. You put me through training. You send me my position description. I go, yep, I understand what my role is. On top of that, I also get access to company benefits like massages weekly, someone that coaches me regularly. My sole role is to do the role, Imagine if it's sales and I can't convert, or I don't know how to use a CRM or the phone. And then imagine if I go and represent the company wearing the company jersey and then get done doing drugs or something like that. Like, how many chances would I get working for you guys, right? And then imagine, then I go, hey guys, you should look to me as a model to junior staff that are coming through. Like, yes, these guys are players, and yes, I agree, they have this Peter Pan thing where they're brought up in this environment. Yeah. It's their job, 1, to play, obviously, 2, to represent. Don't get caught doing that. And I feel like the thing should be harsher, right?
At the end of the day, if you're a professional athlete, just don't do it. Don't do it. Do it in the off season when you don't get when they don't get tested.
They've got the patience to do that.
And that was probably leading more into just the atrocity of like the last round for me as well. But if you're hired to do a role, there are standards that you have to kind of meet, but also they're representing so many people. They're representing future players, junior players, their family. It's crazy. It shouldn't happen at this level, right?
The issue is to you that they're in a cocoon and they don't see it that
Yeah.
way. They're entitled. They feel like they're entitled. They can do whatever they want to do. And
The punishment should be worse though, like even the Latrell's one.
When
Yeah,
you're on,
yeah.
how much does he get paid?
he's in the high 8s.
Can't take an Uber?
Session.
Seriously.
Session's
Oh,
everywhere.
it's apparently-
Session.
I saw him at Five Dog
Yeah.
a few weekends ago, maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago, and he got out of this little beaten up Addo 1600, like a 87, 88 model. I'm like,
What?
yeah, I don't know. It was probably stolen. Anyway, he might have snorted his way out of the Bulldogs. We'll see. Time will tell, right?
Let's see.
Time will tell. RCG was officially released by Parrot today, and Tan, word is he's going to the Broncos.
Is he?
Yeah, because apparently the Dragons deal fell through. Did you hear about that?
What happened? Dragons can't recruit anyone. Honestly,
that?
we
I don't know.
cannot recruit
This
anyone.
is what I read today. So Parramatta actually officially released a statement saying, thank you for your service. So he's definitely gone. It wouldn't happen if he hasn't already signed with someone. The Dragons have said there's no deal here, and the word is that it's the Broncos. So that's probably a good move for him.
Only wanted 3 years at St. George. I wanted to give him 2. But still, I thought they had him in the bag. I thought it was all done and
Don't know.
done and dusted.
They gave Jenny in the tuck shop 3, and they gave me RCG 2.
They couldn't even sign Jenny from
They
the
got
tuck shop.
they got Johnny.
They can't. I think she's going to Milpera Colts.
Oh, she got in the Colts?
Probably.
They gave her 5 years. That's
They
why.
can't get nothing, man. Honestly.
Good pick up for the Bronx though.
Yes.
If he's going there because
Yes.
he's
Oh,
a
look,
good player.
in terms of, look, I don't understand why, because they don't need the actual player, but what they might need is the leadership.
Yeah.
Now, Kevy in the last round said he knows how to fix the issues at the Broncos at the moment. So this might be a piece that he needs to fix the issue. We know that he's getting a complete new staff up there, training, coaching staff. So this might be the piece that he needs. Now, I don't know how much he's going to get. I mean, I'm sure Parramatta's going to chip in.
I assume so because he's
Yeah.
under contract still.
Yeah, so Parramatta's going to chip. So they might get him. They might get him at a good rate, and he might be the person that changes the culture there.
What can you tell us, Tan? Anything?
What are the papers up there saying? Because we don't.
I actually hadn't heard of that. Like I hadn't heard the final thing. And I've recruited for footy teams before. I think, if they get to around listening to this, they should probably use me to help them recruit their staff up there. I think that team.
That's why I need some help.
Yeah. RCG's been going okay though. The last
Very good.
Yeah.
I
he has.
think definitely by leadership too. I think you also mean maturity, right? I think you
Yes.
need
Yeah.
that
Yes,
in.
exactly.
That's so important because the Broncos, I know we're going to talk about it, but very disappointed with them.
Let's
But
go now. The Broncos was the first game, so let's rip in to the results.
Can I say it was very lovely. Carly, the general manager from Jonathan Thurston Academy, Levy Carls, asked if we wanted to go. So Corey from my team and myself went. JT kindly got us the tickets. So thank you, JT. Appreciate it. And I saw the score going where it was going to go. And I continued to drink because I knew what was going to happen. But that was brutal. And I'm glad I went for the last game. And it was such as even I was sending Nick photos and putting on my Insta, but just absolutely.
I got one question for you that no one else will understand. Were your nails intact when you got home?
Yes.
Good.
I had this Storm supporter sitting behind me who was sitting amongst all Broncos supporters, obviously, and was gleefully announcing the score every 5 minutes, and then proceeded to tell everyone around him what he feels the Broncos should be doing better at the height of our. And I may have mentioned a few suggestions back to him. But yeah, it's actually, it was funny. I said to Manny, I was like, I'm catching up with the guys tonight. I said, you know, if you were going to give some advice for them next season, what would you say? And this is an 8-year-old, right? He said, move the ball more. But he was like, I think they need to focus on working together, not for themselves. From an 8-year-old, out of the mouths of babes. But it was embarrassing. Can't really say, hence why I'm wearing a Queensland jersey, because I don't have a Cowboys one. My Broncos one much. But yeah, it was brutal.
What was your young man's name again?
Manny.
Manny. It's funny how Manny knows the answer to the question, but Kevin might not know. Not Nicola, a soulless performance, unfortunately. A team which is lost their identity, unfortunately, in such a short space.
They also had nothing to play for.
Yeah.
They had nothing to play for. I know you could say pride, last game, home crowd, you know, I get all that, but they probably just wanted to get in the showers.
Carrigan, Ricky.
I'm not saying it doesn't matter.
50 to 12. A solid performance. They've not only lost their way, they've obviously they've lost their identity. But we won't prolong the hurt. Kevin knows how to fix it, and I'm expecting a completely different team. The good thing is they don't need cattle.
Artie, what did you say?
Yeah, like George said, soulless, but we did see Craig Bellamy celebrate his 400th win as a coach. That's pretty good, isn't it? But yeah, that was so disappointing, the Broncos. Terrible.
The other thing, Artie, is that we're playing the minor premiers.
And look, that was a dress rehearsal for the Storm. They took that game seriously. They wanted to go out and get ready for the finals. So they were playing a Melbourne Storm that was not putting the queue in the rack. They were
well, they played 80 minutes.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Played 80 minutes. But look, there's not much more to this game. The Storm fine-tuned up for the semi-finals, and the Broncos have got some soul searching to do.
Big time.
And you know what? The good thing is, again, they've got the cattle. They just need the attitude. And I'm sure it's a minor tweak.
Are they going to be a different team next year?
They've got to be. Of course they are.
I don't know. I think I don't know. It depends on what the changes are, because if you make too many drastic changes, there's no, I guess, slow transition, right? And the thing is too, so disappointing, but you've got Raiders, Eels, Dragons all turning up in the last few rounds, regardless of whether they know they're going to make the 8 or not, right?
Yeah.
Like, there is no excuse for that, especially when they were in the finals last year. No excuse.
I think the one change Brisbane needs to make is actually the easiest change to make. It's just all attitude.
Yeah, of course.
Attitude overhaul, in my opinion, my humble opinion.
Hopefully they learned from this year, because you know, last year they were on a high, and this year they came back down to earth. So hopefully next year they know what they did previously. They'll do it again to get to the finals.
It's what we've said. They're very young men. You can't say they're experienced as a whole, as a group. So you know, maybe they got ahead of themselves. Losses started happening, and sometimes you just can't peg back the losses mentally.
Let's not forget, they played against the red hot Storm side as well, right? Minor premiers.
And they're so loved though. Like, even I was so happy to go to that game. They're so loved even afterwards. Like, the kids are lining up, they, you know, wanting to see all the guys, like the teams were there obviously walking around, but the fans waited and stayed. Like, they're a diehard fans, right? And that, you know, you've got the people on social media that didn't even bother going to the game and kind of giving them shit and stuff, but it's not like they're not supported. It's not like they haven't been supported for years. It's not like people don't back them. They're unfortunately not backing themselves, which is wild. But yes, terrible.
Well, they're the biggest club in the country, in terms of popularity, in terms of money, in terms of catchment. We said this last week. So look, I'm sure a good off season, and when Kevy says he knows with the issues, they're having what is called, those when they forensic thing at the moment. So
the review.
They're having a review at the moment. So I'm sure they'll find something.
I always laugh when I hear that. Any decent operation like football club would have a review every year.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well they're doing that at the moment apparently. So I'm sure they'll find a way. you know what? Let's move on and equality. It's there for to see.
Let's talk about the
so
next game.
Let's talk about the next game.
She's laughing already. I
I pinned all
Tanya,
my hopes on the Eels and the Dolphins.
yes. So I was actually quite nervous about this one.
Yeah.
It almost felt like a grand final. No, because I just didn't want to come last. I told you that, right? I did not want to come last.
Told you. Yeah.
I said, Tanya, I go, manifest, pray, voodoo dolls, whatever it takes. Help me, help. And it was hilarious because I watched it at Frank's house.
Okay.
And his wife, Serena.
Yeah.
We were celebrating, you know. So, and she goes, "You guys are pathetic. What? You're celebrating not coming last." I go, I know. We were pretty pathetic, but it was fun.
Did you hear the commentators? They were like, "Oh, a few more rounds. If we had a few more rounds, the Eels might get a look in." And I was like, "Yeah."
But it was one of the worst. Like there was like zero defense in this game. It was just turnstiles everywhere.
It's fun. It was fun.
It was a pretty poor game, but hey, I was just happy we got the win. 60, even better.
Right.
Yeah.
Against the Tigers. But I don't know, there's not much to say. I'm glad the season's over now.
Yeah,
With
absolutely.
the pain, like, you know, rip the knife out of my ribs. Let me heal over the summer.
What do you reckon they'll be like next
You know
year?
how I feel like we were both in the last two grand finals, and now look. What a fall from grace.
But the difference though is look at what the Eels did in the last few rounds, right? And the solidarity when you've got people moving in and out and everything else. Like it's the unity there is very different to the Broncos. You can tell.
Maybe, but don't forget the last few rounds. They're also playing for a new coach who's coming in. So you know, everyone's on notice. Everyone's on notice, right? So that's an extra motivation.
Addo wasn't doing the conversions, which I think helped you guys.
You'll notice that after Bennett signed with South, you know, the next few weeks they sparked up because they're all on notice.
Yeah,
which is coming in. So that, you know, I'm just glad the season's over, and I'm glad that Dylan Brown didn't do his ACL.
I didn't do it.
No.
Oh, good.
No,
That's good.
no surgery required.
Oh, good.
It's
Is that PCL?
no, not even. It's nowhere near as bad as what they thought. It's like a hyperextension or something.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Otherwise, we would have been gone for 9 months.
Wow.
and you guys got the highest points in the round. Like tribe
against the team who won.
doesn't matter.
Get this right. So if Penrith, let's say for argument's sake, if Penrith win the grand final this year, then Jerome Luai would have won 4 premierships in a row. Then he's got the opportunity to go to a club who's going to win 4 spoons in a row. Although I don't think that the Tigers will win a spoon next year.
Hope not.
I think they'll be much better.
What do you got for me, Adi?
No, I'd love to be an Eels fan for the last 2 weeks. 104 points in 2 weeks.
Scoring
Man,
3.
George will score that in a month. But anyway, they used it in 2 weeks, which is very impressive. I saw Regan Campbell-Gillard convert the last kick,
Last one,
thinking, okay, he's getting ready to announce St. George's going to get him.
So, you know,
Next minute.
So, you know, it's funny. I was actually
Nothing.
I was going off my brain when he was lining up the kick because I was, what the? Okay, this is ridiculous. You know, and Frank goes, it's in front. I go, if he misses, we don't get 60.
Yeah.
He was never going to miss, and you guys are always going to win.
Yeah, exactly, man. But, no, it was a good performance by the Eels. They kept it up. I'm liking Clint Gutherson's looking really good. And what's his name? Penasini. I've always been a big fan of Penasini's. And he showed the last few weeks how good a player he is. He's in the top 5, 6 centers. I reckon.
We'll take it.
Going
I'll take the win.
But it's a good win. Disappointing for the Tigers. As a Tigers fan, I'd be so disappointed.
Campbelltown sold out.
Sold out. Chance to get away from the spoon, and they just blew it. They put in that really insipid performance. Imagine if they played the Broncos.
It was pretty.
Would have been an interesting game, wouldn't it?
It was pretty even, like for
Tigers
the first half an hour.
Yeah.
Or so. Should Appy have been sent off for that tackle, or was that a sin bin?
I reckon.
You know, I was screaming send off. What do you guys think?
I reckon it was
off? Sorry,
I
sin
can't remember it that much, to be honest.
I basically dumped him.
Dumped him on his head.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe another day, different circumstances could have been warranted a sent off, but look, it done the trick on the night. You know, it wasn't that type. That wasn't that type of game. Look, I like the atmosphere in the ground. Wasn't the ground buzzing? They were holding spoons up. They were jovial.
Good.
What a great night. Honestly, it looked like a great night through the
It's
television.
the first game, they call it the Spoon Bowl. It's the first game where I can remember two teams playing for the spoon.
Me too. I can't remember.
I
can't
remember that.
one.
Mm.
So it was a great night, and I don't think the score matters. I think that the result was the one that really matters. And
But the score matters for one reason.
was that?
Para finished 15th, not 16th.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that either.
So we jumped south.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, the score didn't matter. I think
I'll take any. I can get.
the result was the pinnacle, and I think that's about right. I don't think Parramatta deserve to come last, but we've seen enough green shoots from Tigers to say that there's been improvement this year, and with Parramatta,
Tigers had a lot of youngsters too.
yeah, and that's what we want, and let's see what happens next year with Jerome coming, and with Para. Well, let's see what the understudy, the new coach, has got for us. So there's green shoots there as well.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was a fun game. All week, a whole week build up, I thought was fun.
What about the next one? Roosters 36-28 over South. Ended up being fairly close.
Yeah, that was the introduction of the guy with the hardest surname in the world.
I'm not even gonna try
How
and
do you
pronounce it.
say that name?
I know.
When he was in kindergarten, they would have made him spell that name and he wouldn't have known how. Like, that's ridiculous. Noah Kwanatawase or something. Is that?
I'm not
It's the
even gonna
longest
try it.
name I've
It's
seen in my life.
crazy. Anyway, this guy was impressive. How good was he?
I
Wasn't
know. He was good, eh?
Could he have at least been bad so we don't have to say that name that often? But we're going to be saying that a lot. Now, that's a hard name, but he's good, man.
Yeah.
See the take that he took from above.
Yeah.
That guy could probably play AFL as well.
But
you
he
know?
played well. He played well across the board, didn't
He
he?
was fantastic. Roosters look really good. And then I think they just the queue in the rack. They got scared from last week, losing all those
Injuries.
players. So they just took it easy in the end and they won comfortably 36-28. Rabbitoh's got a bit of a sniff in the end, but yeah, nothing to worry about.
Is Jared back next week or is it the week after?
Next
He's
week.
back for the finals, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how many minutes he lasts. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what do you got for us, T? You watch the game?
I kind of get bored watching the Roosters. Like, it wasn't a big blowout this time.
No,
I did get first try scorer. I don't know if I told you that, Nick. Got it for
Yeah,
Scott
you sent me the
Crosby.
photo. What about the parrot game? I forgot to
No,
mention.
it was funny because I said I had Sevo, but I changed it to Penasini. Penasini actually scored the first try, but it was disallowed, and then Sevo scored.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, T.
Nah.
Yeah, I know. But no, I watched like the first bit of it. But yeah, with the Roosters, I'm just like, I don't know, not a fan. But yeah, apparently Jared Warrior Hargreaves is coming back for the finals. We talked about at Artie, like that he was literally back after what 6 weeks and was off within 11 minutes or
Yeah.
something.
That's Jared for you. That's Jared.
3 weeks.
That's
3
Jared.
weeks.
3
That's what we
weeks,
call it
Jared.
now. 3 weeks, Jared.
This game, Nicola didn't reach any great heights. I think the main thing for the Roosters is they got the team that they wanted, and they just had a bit of a run with Sandon Smith at
He's
7. It works. Sandon Smith at 7 works, and now not having Walker in, I get it. That creativity isn't there. So I don't know if you've noticed, but Robbo has changed the style just a little bit and is going straight. All the runners, instead of angle runners, they're all going straight. And Sandon Smith is the type of guy who goes straight to the line. So yeah, look, that's basically it. Souths. Look, they gave it a go, but at the end of the day, they're thinking about Barley. And I still like Connor Watson at
Yeah.
at
That's an improvement.
Army half. I think it's as a hooker, I think it's an improvement.
Yeah.
And you know what? For all the shit that Teddy's copped all year, he's still one of the best guys. He's still one of the best players in the comp.
It was fantastic. He's
still
been
one of the
good
best
all
players in the
year.
comp.
How
Well,
good
just-
has he been 10?
Fix his shorts. Mate, I
Sorry?
don't want to see that. His shorts every week.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never noticed his
Yeah.
shorts.
I don't look. So
I've never noticed too.
Pink undies every week. I don't want to see it.
I love it.
The next game, Artie, you guys killed me. I'm
Oh,
one behind
you.
in the tipping now because of this
God.
game. I tipped the Dragons, and I actually thought they'd won.
I
Because
told you.
I know, but I didn't know. Like I was checking on my phone, I go, oh, it's in the bag, and next thing I get a message from Tan saying, "Oh, the Raiders won it." I said, "No." because now I've dropped the tip and now I'm in trouble.
What do you
I'll
got
get back. Time.
What do you got for me, Artie?
When we started that game, the start was magnificent. It was
loved
really
it.
good.
You loved it, huh?
Zach Lomax, that try for Zach Lomax, fantastic.
Fantastic.
24-6 at half time, and I thought, brilliant.
Loving it.
Let's get on
Loving
with it. Yeah, they didn't come out the second half, did they? They just stayed there. Credit to Ricky Stewart, though. The Raiders got him into the grind. He knew exactly what to do, and St. George fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And he just went bang, bang, bang and scored. He knew that the Phenoi guy's going to miss tackles. They scored 2 from there. And then the Cat scored the try right at the end.
God bless the Cat.
Couldn't even kick a ball, but it worked. And then got stuck under his armpit to score. So everything just went their way in the end. But man,
He's
hard following
he's
this team.
staying too.
Yeah,
You know
he's
how
staying.
we-
He
Yeah.
definitely is.
Yeah.
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 But it's very hard to follow this team. It is.
That was wild. What was it? 77th minute. That was absolutely wild. Like
Mm.
that
Needed
game.
that win.
Did you like Horsburgh's try?
Yeah, and because I like, Raiders was the first jersey I wore, right? Even though I'm a Queenslander, but when we were based in the RAF base in Canberra, that was my first jersey I wore. So I have this kind of affection for them still. And then I was just like, wow. And yeah, I said to Nick, I was like, Raiders won. He was like, shit.
I thought it was in the bag, and because I was actually checking the tipping ladder because it's live.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got to just come back now. Sorry.
Very quickly, the former team in the competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Nicola. I think was it 3 out of 4? Adi, they've won.
Yeah.
They've won 3 out of 4. The first half, I thought St. George was going to repay their fans.
Going back to that, 3 out of 4, and the 3 teams they beat were St. George, Penrith, and Storm. Yeah, powerhouses, except for St. George. But yeah, that's pretty impressive, eh? 3 out of 4.
Yeah, love them. 4th team in the competition. I thought St. George were going to pay their fans for last week, Nicola. And I was very jovial like yourself, thinking how good's this? And all of a sudden, when they came out, the Canberra Raiders, the minute they got St. George in a grind, we saw a soft underbelly.
Yeah.
And I felt for him, and I could tell what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I just knew they were going to crumble.
Everyone in our comp tipped the Raiders except for me.
Oh, really?
That was not one. Yeah, keep going back to it. I know.
But that Horsburgh try, I'm gonna put it up now for the try of the year. It was messy. He had no idea it was in his hand. Go and watch it, Nicola. I'm gonna, at the end of the year when we do the quick hands awards, mate, that's my try of the year.
Oh, wow.
The Cat's got the try of the year.
I actually didn't see any of the games on Saturday because I was out. So
I gave you updates though.
yeah, no, I was kept.
I
up.
was like, you should check in on George. And
Yeah, I
was actually in Canberra.
I'm about
on
to
the weekend.
go there. Right. Are we done with this one?
Yeah, let's move on.
So,
Please.
so Cowboys 44, Bulldogs 6. And the reason I'm looking at my phone is because I got a message from someone we all might know with the first try scorer. Followed with my response, no effing way. Yes, it's Tanya. She beat the first try scorer.
I love Carl Felt though.
You
I
what,
know.
in the
In
Canberra
this game, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was it, by the way?
It was
Felt.
Carl.
No, Phil.
Look,
Of course.
screenshot.
Is that a favourite player of yours? You like Kyle Felt, don't you? Tim?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's a damn shame he's going to Super League. I'll give you updates all
Mm.
next year.
Mm.
He is going to Wigan. I mean,
I feel like him and Holmes are kind of going, hey, just in case you forget us, we're not going to be here next year. Because I feel like the way that Holmes is leaving, it's a bit, I think we spoke about this last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's amazing. He's so good. He's really stepped up. And I'm so sorry, George, but it's the last Queensland team in the comp. So I was very happy that the Cowboys won this game.
Yeah, I've got a lot to say about this game too.
Tell us.
I said, I was like, you need to check in on George. And Nick's like, what? And I was like,
I'm not like that too. I'm a rugby league man in general, but 2 weeks ago, Canterbury lost Nicola, as we spoke about before, against Manly, and Manly took the old tried true method of bringing baseball bats and absolutely bashing the shit out of Canterbury, and it worked. The only problem is with that type of approach, you need to get up the other week physically and emotionally. The Cowboys, but we always say with ball in hand, they're one of the best teams in the competition.
Yeah, it's
They're the best team.
defense.
They're the best team in the competition with ball in hands. We said if they can only tackle, we've been saying that all year. They did the same thing to Canterbury that Manly did, but they did it in a different way. They done it surgically, patiently, methodically, okay? And when they got him in the middle, and Ruben Cotter leads that line in terms of defense and attack, and I'd never expected Ruben Cotter to be so good, and Tommy Dearden on the edge. The minute they collapsed the middle, and they collapsed the middle again in an old school sort of way, but a modern old school way. It's very complicated. They hit the edges, bang, bye. And what was the score? 44-6.
Yeah.
And that 44-6 should have been 50 plus. That's how bad Canterbury went. The issue is
Will they be ready this week?
This is the issue. Everybody's seen what we've been talking about all year. A good big man
Through the middle.
A good small man every time. This time of the year, semi-finals, everything lifts.
Yeah.
Everything lifts. And the intensity doesn't stay for 15 or 20 minutes. It stays for 70 minutes. And the good teams get it for 80 minutes. I'll tell you right now, there's alarm bells ringing at Belmore. There's alarm bells ringing.
Who are they playing? Manly.
They're playing Manly.
Yeah.
And I expect the same sort of game plan. Every Manly player will be carrying a baseball bat running on the field. It's happened. They've done it once.
Is he suspended?
No, fined. So the other good thing is that the Cowboys, I don't know if they can do it 2 or 3 or 4 weeks in a row, but let me tell you, if they put similar performance up, they will go deep into this semi-final series because they've got one part of the ingredients. All they need is the other part, and they had it on Saturday.
They're very unpredictable, though.
I love watching them
A
play.
lot like Manly, actually. Don't know what to expect.
Yes. But you know, with Manly, we don't know what to expect both sides of the ball. With Cowboys, we know what to expect one side of the ball. It's the other side of the ball, with the defense part. They got it right, and all they have to do is in a steamy, hotty North Queensland, and I'm not sure. I think they're playing on the Saturday night to do it one more time. And I think I think they will.
Yeah, because where are they? Are they playing in where are they playing?
North Queensland,
Townsville.
Yeah, Townsville.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
How good's Val Holmes are we playing? He's kicked 25 consecutive goals.
Yeah.
I'm 100% convinced his manager made him sign the contract. He didn't know which club he was going to. But then when he signed it, he said, "You know, it's St. George." We went, yes. Because he's playing out of his skin. He's 29 years old, and he's kicking them from sideline. He's running. He's fantastic. So welcome to St. George.
You said you couldn't get anyone.
I know, mate. We've got one good guy.
You got one. You got it.
Cowboys have been more consistent, though, than I'd say than the Eagles have been. Like, they've only lost since in the last 7 rounds. They lost to the Broncos, which is hilarious looking at last week, and Eagles. But prior to that, they've been pretty consistent. Warriors in round 14 they lost to. But I reckon they'll go all right. And that's not me just wishful thinking or hoping because they're the last Queensland team. But I think they're going to go all right. Like, they've got a lot of guys that are leaving as well, like key players. Well, not a lot, but key players that are leaving. I think they'll have a good crack. Plus, and I think we've spoken about this, but the difference between Townsville Heat and people that are used to training and playing up there versus
It's pretty sneaky up
South
there.
Wales, and it's different.
Really, yeah. Even at nights.
Yeah, it's so
I
humid.
was up there, September, October last year.
Yeah.
Man, it's humid.
Really.
Sticky.
It
hot.
was 31 here on Sunday, and today it's been thunderstorming and it's so humid, and it's only beginning of September. It is really, and if it's hot here, it is boiling up there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really hot.
Disappointing for the Dogs, though. Their last home game at Accor.
Well, it's a
before
new
the finals.
It's a new competition now.
Yeah, I know, but they get flogged. Two
second, aren't they at
smashings in a
home
row.
this week? They're at home this week.
Yeah,
they're at home in
Yeah.
the first final.
Yeah, but 2 smashings in a row. It's not very
That's
Good
right. The new
kidding.
comp starts this week.
They get some players back this week. which is good.
Before we go, and this is I'm taking this out of Adi's mouth. He wants to give flowers to Drinky. Drinky's been amazing. He already gave flowers to Holmes, but
Cotter.
Clifford, and Dearden.
Yeah.
Anyone else you want to give flowers to?
Mate, the whole team by the
The
sound.
whole team, by the sound of
Phil?
it.
Nanai.
Oh, running on the edges, he was unbelievable. I've never seen him run, not holes, run over people, because he's a hole runner. So love the Dolphins. Love the Dolphins. I mean, love the Cowboys.
The only Egyptian Cowboy supporter sent me a text just before the game.
Yeah.
He sent a message to everyone. He said, "Dogs 30+."
No.
Always backs his team.
Always.
Good on you, George.
Solid.
Panthers 18, Gold Coast 12. The Panthers just did what they had to do, right?
Yeah, I think they're just running through.
Is Bionic
Training
Kin
run.
back this week?
Yeah.
Is he back?
Finals, yeah.
Yep.
Easy.
His chin's always offside from the kickoff.
Always offside, but you know what? Adi continuously tells me that they're ready to switch on the light switch, the Panthers, and go back to their best. I'll question that.
Same. Yeah.
They were disappointing. They were impetus on the weekend. 18-12 Titans. God bless them. We know there's a lot of green shoots. We've seen enough from the Titans to know that Desi will do his magic next year. You know what? With the Titans, they're great individual players. The minute Desi gets them playing together as a unit, and don't forget Big Tino is coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'll be much
difference.
better next year. Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're going to make the 8, but they'll be much more competitive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they got some of the best outside backs in the game, if you ask me. And Jaden Campbell, he's a 5'8". Well, if he wasn't,
How good was that step?
Oh,
That try scored.
He's so good, so electric, Jaden Campbell. I love him.
Yeah.
But Penrith, I've got concerns. I
They
want to go for
haven't had blowouts though. Either. They haven't had big blowouts this year, like massive wins compared to other teams. Like I'm going back on the previous rounds. They've been pretty close. And for them to play the Titans as well, 18-12, Rabbitohs, they went all right. Raiders beat them. Storm beat them. Like Eels, Panthers game was close by 2 points. Like they haven't had massive blowouts either.
Sorry, the aura is gone. Teams would get off the bus at Penrith Park, and they've lost already. That is gone now. They know they're very beatable.
George, they've played a lot of the season. They've played without Cleary. He's been injured a lot. They've played, and Tom's on his back. They've had no Dylan Edwards. Like they've had a lot of people injured. They haven't had. I'd like to see how many games they've had their full strength team. It'd probably be 2 or 3.
Like the Broncos, probably 2 or 3.
A lot of teams struggle when they have one good play missing. Like look at Para, Mitchell.
Yeah.
But Panthers,
Okay. Well, you
and
know
they just look like they're comfortable. They're just doing enough to win. They don't care about blowouts. They don't care about anything. They just just get the 2 points.
Well, Roosters, Storm, Panthers, they're all looking pretty comfortable.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, you know what? It won't take us long. Friday night we got them up first.
Are you guys Friday night?
Friday's Penrith
Roosters.
Oh, Penrith. Okay.
Yeah, so
That's going to be so good.
I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
I
Looking forward to
cannot
this
wait
weekend.
to. I can't wait.
Got something on Saturday. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, I'll be watching the footy. So rolling over to Sunday.
I just want one shout out to the winger from Titans, Pereira.
He's
He's
outstanding.
top try scorer, fantastic player,
yeah.
good future. This guy,
Some of the best outside backs.
he was fantastic, and congratulations for being top try scorer.
Is he top the try
I think he got
scorer?
25. Yeah,
Oh,
That's
wow.
pretty
for a losing
Yeah,
team.
Artie, I mentioned it when I was on last week or the week before.
2 weeks.
He surpassed his tries versus games
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
2 weeks ago.
Phenomenal.
Amazing.
Has
He's awesome. Yeah, that's what he said.
So he's doing a month off here. He's doing a Chariots.
Chariots.
Gee.
Good on him.
Was it
Yeah.
off or a fire?
Off fire.
Everyone always pronounces
Yeah,
it
I think
different.
it's off fire.
Chariots.
Chariots fire.
Sunday, Manly at home went down to the Sharks, 40 points to 20. So Cronulla the real deal, or are they going to crash and burn? Now, this is my moment because I said on episode 1 of this year, what did I say?
Yeah.
I said Cronulla's season
starts in the
starts in
seventh.
September. They're 0-4. They're 0-4. What's going to happen? I mean, we're supposed to be talking about this game, but who
Yeah.
really cares? What happened here?
Yeah, I know. Of all teams you want to play in the finals, going into that, what you just said,
You
you,
want
don't want to play
Cronulla.
Melbourne and
No.
in Melbourne. Well, that's who they've got to play. But anyway,
Yeah.
Sharks played very well. Hines did good. I don't know about Manly. They just looked a bit off. It's like
Yeah.
back
That
of
was
their
a weird
minds.
one.
Finals. I don't know. They were just thinking about
You know what the
finals.
biggest story is that came out of this one? Luke Brooks. Is it 13 years?
Made
13
his first
seasons?
finals.
He's going to play his first finals game. First finals game.
Good
I
on
bet you he gets injured in the warm-up.
Oh, I hope. That'd be sad. But one of my favourite players though stood out in this game, and that's Brinton Nakora. If he's not the best back
Yeah.
rower, I don't know who he is. He's phenomenal. He's been the best player at the Sharks for me all year. He hasn't had one bad game. Any team would love him.
Oh.
But Sharks, impressive, man. They were impressive, but did Seagulls really play? I don't know. Maybe the Dogs took a lot out of it. And they're thinking
Maybe
about
they
next
have one
week.
eye on next week.
Yeah, I think they did, man. Look, they missed out on playing a home final. That's the only thing that they were
Yeah.
playing for, really. But maybe they saw once they got to a stage, they thought, you know what, it's not worth it. Let's just worry
Do you
about
remember what
next
Jack
week.
Gibson used to say about home and away?
What?
It's just a patch of grass with a fence around it.
Yep.
Mm,
It's true.
mm.
You got anything on for this one too?
I was surprised. I expected Sunday to go reverse.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
expected Eagles and Dolphins to win.
Yeah.
Like, very surprised. I know the Sharks have been doing well, but again, agree their season starts in September, but they've been a bit inconsistent. But the Eagles are better than that, especially at home.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I did get both these tips.
Sharks had nothing.
I'm
When you
just
think-
saying.
When you think about it,
Yeah.
Sharks had nothing to play for.
No.
Win or lose, they were going to stay in the same spot.
Well, they got to get ready for a sudden death.
Yeah.
This is not sudden death, is it, for the Sharks?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it?
it is. No.
Oh no,
No.
they came fourth. Sorry, they came fourth.
They've got to get rid. I mean, it feels like it for them because, like I said, they're 0-4. So
But yeah, win or loss, they meant nothing. So I'm surprised they've even put a full strength team out. I'm surprised they didn't rest a lot of players like Melbourne do or Penrith.
I think they needed to come into the semi-finals in some sort of form,
Yeah.
Artie, and form they did. They're actually a very well coached and very well drilled team, and they have been all year. You know, if the players don't perform, it's not a Fitzy thing. They're very well drilled, extremely well drilled. You mentioned Nikora. If he's not the best,
Mm.
who is? Seriously, he's so good.
He's brilliant.
And he doesn't look big in stature, but gee, he's tough. Gee, Nikola's tough.
Mm.
The real stars in this Sharks team are the back three. How they carry the ball out from dirty ball is equivalent to Penrith. You know what? We talked about the Sea Eagles. How it takes to go to Belmore or to go to Homebush with baseball bats to do what they did to Canterbury. It takes a lot out of you emotionally, physically, and mentally. So to back it up again, you got to be a special team and special human beings, and we know that they haven't done that this year. It's a blimp. I think it's a blimp. They're a better team. They're a better team, obviously, than they.
Yeah.
And you know what? For 20 minutes, they were in the fight. But when Sharks wouldn't go away, well, they folded. The only bad thing that the Seagulls done, they played fucking Nico Hines back into some sort of form. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man.
What's wrong with
Sorry for
Nico?
swearing. I love Nico.
Yeah.
I love Nico. But you know what I do like what Fitz has done, is not giving him the keys to the castle.
Mm.
Because if he's first off the ruck and controlling the team, okay, where Nico goes, the ball goes. It's easy. So shuffle another defender across. Wherever Nico goes, the ball goes. Guess what? Now, wherever, what's his name?
Braden.
Wait a minute. Nico gets it half the time. If you look at the stats, they handled the ball 60 times each.
Yeah.
So he's carved it up. Okay, so I didn't really enjoy the game, but I enjoyed Sharks' performance. And we move on to the semi-finals, and I think just a blimp for for the Seagulls. And the Sharks are looking good. I think the Sharks are looking good.
One thing to note, George, Molitano leveled Steve Rogers' all-time Sharks scores with 81,
Really?
82 tries. Yeah,
Really?
there you go, mate. Your favourite.
Stevie Rogers.
Stevie Rogers.
But
He now sits third behind Ettinghausen. So
oh, that's,
I hate when they
that's-
pronounce the S in his name. Ettinghausen.
Ettingshausen.
that's the big names.
Mm.
And in the last game, Newcastle 14 points, 6 over the Dolphins. Tan, a little disappointing with the Dolphins here.
Because I missed the disallowed try for Fuller because I missed the first part.
The obstruction, that was not an obstruction. Do you guys see that? That should have been. That was a bad defensive decision.
It was,
It was a bad read.
but that's how they've been giving him all year,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
It's,
No,
it
But
is
then-
terrible.
But then seeing that there was how long it took to actually, get a try that everyone agreed with. 27th minute, I was so convinced that the Dolphins were going to win this game purely because of how they play away. Like, I know Knights is a fairly, they're doing really well this year too, but Bennett going, I would have thought he would have put a cracker up their butts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think I had and obviously been great bias, but when I saw how long it took to get that actual first try, I was like, I wouldn't even know. It's going to go either way. And yeah, Hammer just scored too late. 9 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So disappointed.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like a lot of these teams in the last week or two, whether it's the Dolphins or like last week the Broncos or Dragons, do you expect more?
Did you hear Bennett's comment to get rid of the bunker?
Yeah.
Yeah, but with Bennett, it's like most coaches, they all say that when their team loses and something happens, but they never say it when they win.
I feel though that he's pretty he's not as emotive. Well, there's rarely any emotion
He's
there
just
anyway.
more
But
measured and calculated. He knows
well,
less is more with Wayne Bennett. Less
yeah.
is,
Yeah.
But did you hear about the change that's coming to the bunker next year? You're going to be in there, apparently.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No win, no chin, no win.
No chin, no win. By the way, Tan, you wanted to give a shout out to someone.
Oh yeah, no, I've been it's funny because I was saying to Nick, he's like, Tan, you don't need to do this, but because I've been telling everyone about potty and stuff,
He's
and
literally telling everyone about
keeps
spreading the word.
probably told like
About
random
the
people.
pod?
Yeah.
Yeah. So heaps of people have been listening to it. I had a couple of people follow you guys on Insta. But I spoke to one of my clients today, Megan. She's from Third Space Accounting in Brisbane. And I was like, look, I'm going on the podcast tonight. She's a mad Broncos supporter.
Yeah.
She's like, Tan, I don't know what we can say. She's like, But no, she's awesome because she's like, I actually listened to the ones that you were on. And I was like, it's like 4 hours. I don't feel like I don't think they normally go that long. But so shout out to her and definitely for loving the pod. So
I love it.
So shout out to Megan from Third Space Accounting, was it?
Yeah.
In Brisbane?
Yeah, she's awesome.
I'll give you some background to that. I heard the boy Wonder telling Nico we had last time you were on 120 something new impressions, and I wanted to understand that, and what he meant to say is that last time you were on we had 120 brand new subscribers. So it's one thing it's one thing listening to it, it's another thing actually downloading the
He
show.
showed me the analytics and it spikes.
Yeah, so it spikes.
So
the last time you were here on the show, that week or that sort of fortnight-ish, we got at least over 100 new followers.
And I feel like maybe 20 of them are scared enough of me because I directly told them to follow it. But you're around people that will, and it just, I don't know. I think on Thursday, I was chatting with a few people about it, and because we ended up catching up with a few of the guys after, and I was mentioning it then as well. But people like to hear that too. I was talking to Nick about. I sent some of the clip to Jermaine Asako from the Dolphins. I was like, I did a shout out for you. And he was like, he actually listened to it too. And I was like, this is awesome. And he's like, it's really nice and also funny to hear people's opinions of players and stuff and the teams and everything else. But I think I said to Nick, it's good because even if we are kind of fair, like Addo, carr, and Mitchell, I don't think we could ever talk kindly about those scenarios because there'd be something wrong with us morally. But people that are listening to it, and even him, like if he's feeling down about losing or whatever, I'd like to hear that you guys are like, whoa, like I'm propping him because he's doing so well, 29. Like it has more impact than I think you guys think about, you know, when you guys are just having a chat and think it's just like, you know, talking footy. People
Well,
actually
I told you this just started because this is what we do at barbecues.
Yeah.
That's how it started.
Basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone
But no,
said, yeah, you guys should do a podcast. That's how we
yeah, Megan's awesome. I literally walked into her office and then I saw the Broncos jersey mounted on the wall and I was like, it's fine. I'll do all your recruitment. Like,
So
love you.
I'm gonna say it again. Shout out from Tanya to Megan from Third Space. Which camera am I looking at? Megan from
any of them.
Third Space Accounting, Brisbane. Love your work.
Yeah.
Let me tell Jermaine what I thought about the Dolphins and about their coach. Last week when they played the Broncos, he had a Wayne Bennett idea, and he put Trey Fuller at fullback. He put Averillo at 6, O'Sullivan at 7, Herbie through the middle, and he put Hammer in the centers and worked a treat. It worked. They ran for hundreds of meters, and they ripped the soul out of the Broncos. So he went with the same recipe to Newcastle. Now, you know what? In hindsight, we're all super coaches, but this is what actually happened. Trey Fuller played really well, but maybe the Hammer would have been more dangerous coming into the line wide out, in my opinion. Okay. What they lacked was point scoring. So they lacked creativity. Now, I get O'Sullivan at 7. I would have liked to see Katoa. And I understand why they dropped Katoa. And he maybe should have dropped Katoa earlier in the year, but he definitely should have brought him back for this game just for the creativity. That boy is a special human being. He's going to get even more special every year that goes on. So, look, again, in hindsight, we're all super coaches.
Yeah.
On the other side, Tanya, Newcastle, they were in the fight. They fought and fought and fought and fought. And all they had to do is, I said last week, if they all do their jobs and put Kalen in good positions, he does the rest. And on that afternoon, he did that exactly, and he did his best, and he was the difference. He actually, ball in hand, carved them up.
I don't feel anything towards it. Like, you know, I'm very on the fence with the Knights. Like, I don't feel anything towards them. Just love Gagai.
Yeah. No, he was one of the one ones too.
I do have to say, Dolphins, right? Like last year was their first year. This year, they almost got to the 8.
Almost.
Outstanding. Outstanding season.
Outstanding. I just have to say, I just love them. So proud of them. But yeah, the Knights did really well. So they were in the final. They were in the top 8 last year, weren't they? They were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can I just say something in terms of some people are moving on from the Dolphins? I understand that their Q Cup team's in a prelim, and they're stacked.
Yeah,
they are stacked too.
See, I don't know if you guys remember, because and it's fine because you don't you weren't following the Queensland teams as much before you met me. But
yes, we were.
I need to point it out to you again. Okay, there's a king, and it's off camera. There's a king Wally, and
my favorite player.
I've got eyes in the back of my head. Which
Wally
side is it? There's a King Wally behind me somewhere, either on the left or right.
I'm a Wally fan. He's my favorite all-time player.
There you go. See?
Dolphins had. Did you ever watch Valiance to Wear?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yep.
Yeah. They should have kept. I don't know why they. I don't know why. Yeah. It's not a recent case, but anyway, I don't know why they didn't persist with him, or. And I agree. Like George, I think Bennett did something weird in the last few rounds.
Well, this 2 weeks ago, last week it worked brilliantly. He
Yep.
made all those
Yeah,
changes,
brilliant.
and it worked well. But you know what? They came up against the Spirited Knights at home, who just got over the top of them, I guess. But
They'll
that try for me was like,
Yeah.
it's becoming a farce.
Oh, you mean the no
try.
try? Okay,
Yeah.
that was a turning point.
It was near
For me, yeah,
but
it was
still,
that was a
yeah.
turning point. They had all the momentum, and I honestly believe that who was it again made the wrong read. One of the defenders in
It
the
was a bad
Knights.
decision.
So I think was it the 5'8"? What's his name? Anyway,
Cogger. It was Cogger, yeah.
Cogger made the wrong read, but unfortunately, the letter of the law they've been giving them all year.
that's
year.
it.
It was wrong. It's wrong, but it's right. It's right
Yeah.
technically. So, but that was a turning point, no doubt in my mind. They score there, their tails are up, and they're getting. So the minute that this team, how it's constructed, the Dolphins, the minute they get up, then they go into grind mode. So they've got you. Get out. Try to get out. Try to get out. It reminds me of the Canterbury team of the 80s. Try to get out. Go. Try to get out. You know what I mean? Just grind you and grind you and grind you. And all of a sudden, you give up another point. You give up another try. All of a sudden, you don't know it, but you're 8 or 9 down and you can't make a break. So it didn't happen. They didn't ever get to the front.
I feel, and I think we were saying this last time, like they've been obviously a bit disengaged since Bennett announcing that he was going, which of course you would, right? I feel like they will recover quite nicely next year because they're already missing the absence even though he's present. Do you know
I'm
what I
sure
mean?
Christian Wolf's been doing a lot of
He's
the
outstanding.
coaching.
He's an outstanding
I'm sure he's
coach.
been doing a lot of the coaching anyway.
I'm not
Yeah, agree.
Are you
Agree. And
aware of-
the guys are so close as a team anyway.
okay.
You know.
People seem to forget as well that they missed Flegler and Tim Gilbert, two
Absolutely.
outstanding front rowers.
Absolutely.
So or forwards. So
Absolutely.
if you put them back in the team next year, they're going to be a very good unit.
Absolutely. And in terms of the coaching, I know that Supercoach is going, but make no mistake.
Christian Wolf's good, yeah.
Christian Wolf has won 3 competitions in England with St Helens, and he's an
Yeah.
outstanding
Yeah.
coach. He's an outstanding
I've got more
coach.
faith in him winning a comp before the other rookies that have never played coached in England winning a comp. The one thing I've got to point out is that's the 4th time in 5 years Newcastle's progressed to the finals.
Yeah.
So, you know, O'Brien's always talked about as being a guy that's under pressure,
Yeah.
but he delivers.
Well,
in the
they
end.
won 3 spoons
thought
in a
of that.
row before the Tigers did.
Yeah, exactly. And I had a sneak peek. Apparently, Pong got 30 points for that Dally M. We might get Dally M's again.
Is this tongue in cheek or you guys actually love Ponga? I don't know.
No.
Let me give you some background.
Last
So
year.
last
Yeah.
season, you might remember Newcastle
Fast.
going terribly, and then they went on this 8-game winning streak or whatever, and Ponga somehow won the Dally M. Now,
And-
he had a great 2 months, right? But how he won the Dally M is beyond
But
me.
Okay.
going up
'Cause
to
I-
that, though, it was all Sean Johnson. Everyone was talking
Yeah.
about Sean Johnson's. It's his.
Yeah.
It's his.
Yeah.
He was getting 3 points every week. Like he was
Yeah.
outstanding
He
for the whole
lost
year.
by 1 point.
And he ended up losing by
That's-
1 point to Ponga.
That's where they're taking the piss out of
Yeah.
Ponga and the Dally M comes from.
Yeah.
Okay,
we,
'cause
do like,
yeah.
we do like Ponga.
We do. He's
like
one
Yeah.
of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
When he goes into the
Good luck
toilet
night.
with the bourbon and coke.
Yeah,
It's-
we had a lot of fun when he entered the
Toilet
toilet
boy.
kubu. Oh, we had some fun, toilet boy. We had some fun with that.
it's crazy how they weren't spoken about being finals 4 weeks ago.
Like it.
Exactly, and they did it. So credit to the Knights.
They're just making up the numbers, but aren't they?
We'll see. You never know.
We'll see.
They could
I
surprise.
could take an.
There's always a
educated guess.
surprise in the bottom 8, but we'll see.
So finals, week 1 starting Friday. This Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th.
Wow.
Mm.
Who's
Winner.
going to get? There's the Black Cat getter on Friday the 13th. The Panthers are playing the Roosters.
Oh wow.
Hardy, what do you got?
Incidentally, just quickly, the Roosters. Tan, I sent you a video when I went to the Roosters game a few weeks back. From the old Paddo Inn.
Mm.
I was with Perry, Andy,
Oh,
Costa,
no.
Richo,
Oh,
all
no.
Roosters supporters. And I just thought of something while I was there. No, none too happy. I said, hey, you just realized something. You know what you get when you go to a Roosters game? A bunch of cocks watching a bunch of cocks. I thought it was good.
I like it. I had this.
I thought it was great.
I
The guys will be listening to this, and you guys know it's true.
I was working with this French guy, and he would call the Roosters the Cocks. And I let him
Well,
do. I let him do it. I let him do it.
Yeah.
Like I knew him for 3 years. I let him call him the Cocks. We got to watch Cock this weekend.
Yeah.
If you want to watch Cock, I'll watch Cock too. I go to him. You know what I mean? So, sorry,
Oh
T.
boy.
So look, he didn't get it. He didn't. It was here for 3 years and he didn't get it. He's calling him Cock. But
Panthers,
anyway,
Roosters. Who's going to win this one?
Panthers, Roosters. Well, Cleary's
Panthers.
back for the Panthers, as you know, but we've got Dominic Young, Daniel Pupu, our favourite Pupu, Lindsay Collins, and Nat Butcher for the Chooks. They're pretty big ins,
I
man.
reckon the Roosters
4
are a
wins.
chance, you know.
My matchups, I'm looking forward to a Dylan Edwards versus Tedesco. I think it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah.
And then you've got Luai versus Kiri, and then you've got the two front rowers in Leota and the Fish up against Spencer and Collins. Cracker. So I'm going towards, look, the record against the top 3 teams for the Roosters, they've won only 1 out of 20 or something. It's horrible. But they've never been in this position before for a while, actually, the Roosters, where they're in top 4 and they can afford to drop one. So I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this one. But I can only see Panthers win. To be honest.
I've got to disclose, guys. I've got to go under the radar because if everyone who's against me listens to this, which is why everyone was up there as well. So I'm not going to tell anyone who I'm tipping because from now on it's 2 points a game, and I'm not giving away shit.
So our guest, T, what do you got for us?
My 2 hated teams. Okay, I agree.
Oh, wow.
With a passion. With a passion.
With a passion.
They're the best to watch.
With a passion. I love it.
If I'm looking at it clinically, it'd be Panthers at home. But then depending on how Roosters are feeling, I don't know. I'll go Panthers though.
One thing that's guaranteed, you'll see Tedesco's pants, undies.
Oh yeah, look out for it, guys. You'll never unsee it now.
Teddy tea bags.
Teddy.
Teddy teas. I don't know. Adi assures me that Penrith is going to be the Penrith of old. I'm not sure. Let's say they're going to be the Penrith of old. If they're going to be the Penrith of old, when I look for the team, you can't beat them.
Cleary's definitely back, yeah?
He's in. You can't beat him. Even if Cleary is 80% right, kicking and passing and being
That's all
hidden.
they need.
Yeah, being hidden away.
Is it going to impact Luai? Because I've, for those who don't know, I've been a huge critic of Jerome Luai over the years. I just don't like him. But this year, I'll admit, he's been very different. He's cut the bullshit out.
He's a leader.
And he's playing a lot better this year. And he's actually been taking the lead in Cleary's absence, right? And all of that crap, you know, with his Instagram and all that shit, like, you know, that doesn't seem to be there at the moment this season. And he seems to have gone to another level.
Yeah.
He's kind of taken ownership of this team.
No, I think
Now, when Super Chin comes back, is that going to upset the balance?
Well, he's going to take the leadership.
You know, I actually thought that when I was thinking about, you know, hoping that neither of them score and it's just a dream. No, I was actually thinking that because Cleary's been away. He's really stepped up.
Yeah.
Yes, they might be playing at home, but agree, will it kind of upset it a bit? You know what I mean? Because again, I can imagine they plug Cleary so much, you know, everyone's talking about him coming back. How would you feel as a team as well?
I think they're all good with it because they've been together for so long. So I'll tell you why you won't upset the Apple Card, because they'll just go back to their old systems.
Yeah.
Very, very, very systematic team, this team. No, I think or I guess everything is matter of fact. Everything they do is rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed. What I like is Leota, Kenny, Fisher-Harris, Sorensen, Martin, Yo. Wow.
Roosters is good too, you know.
Wow.
Read out the Roosters.
No disrespect, but Lenu, Watson, Collins, right? Okay, so Tilly and Butcher. This is going to be a deuce. I actually think it's going to be a grind fest. Okay, and more mistakes will lose. And I've got this feeling in the bottom of my soul that the Roosters are going to win. I don't know why I think this. I still think Penrith will be in the grand final, but I think the Roosters are going to win. But you know what? strapped down because it's going to be a doozy.
It will
I,
be.
I really hope that the Roosters do win because they're the Panthers are a better chance of knocking out Melbourne, and I'd love to see them in the grand final. Sorry, Tan. That will be my dream grand final.
Wait a second. Who do you want to see in the grand final?
Penrith and
Panthers.
Penrith and Roosters.
and I think if Panthers lose, might meet up with Melbourne.
That's a
Storm
lose-lose.
and knock them out.
Well, Melbourne basically is a.
You know, interestingly, I asked when we asked JT when we got like 2 seconds with him what the final would be, and he reckons Penrith Roosters.
Yeah.
What he said.
A cracker.
Yeah.
It'll be a cracker.
I was
Just
like,
because
no.
That would be a lose-lose.
of
That's
the
not fair.
You're the best.
Yeah, look, hey, maybe, but this game, when I look at it on paper, is my godfather.
know what I'd
it's
love-
going to be a grind fest, buddy.
You know what I'd love to see? I'm going back.
Both teams will be grinding.
I'm going back to the I'm going way back in time, but 05 when the Tigers won the comp.
Yeah.
Artie, you remember?
Hmm.
St George and Parramatta were the two teams that year, right? Finished equal first.
Yeah.
Parrot won the minor premiership on on points differential,
Yeah.
and both red hot favourites to meet in the grand final. Both shit themselves in the prelim.
Big time.
And the two teams who should never have been in the grand final were in the grand final that
Yeah.
year.
North.
Yeah.
Cowboys and.
So anything's possible,
Anything's
right?
possible. Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Even Cronulla might win a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly believe Cronulla might actually go to Melbourne and win. But here, just I can't split them. It's going to be a grind fest. It's going to be the type of game that I like. Oh no, there's going to be a lot of penalties. I just saw the referee.
Who is
Yeah,
it?
Klein.
No, it's Klein.
Why has Andrew G been dropped?
Why is Andrew G been dropped?
I don't know.
What has he done? He's the best referee still. He's the closest thing to Bill Harris.
Agree.
Huh?
Eh?
Agree.
Agree?
Mm.
Yeah.
How-
Hey,
By far.
so he's not in the top 4 referees.
Maybe they got him for another game. Storm and Sharks. He probably
No.
thinks that one's a better one.
Is he out? No, he's been
playing
dropped.
this weekend.
He's been dropped.
Dropped.
Yeah.
Was he the
Completely.
referee for the
Well, the bunker made the
Newcastle?
call, not the referee on the
Yeah.
field.
Red
Cool.
Sun.
He's dropped. I can't believe it. I'm
the
I'm-
weatherman is just doing some weird things, eh?
Strange
He's
guy.
crazy.
Strange guy.
Mm.
Strange guy.
So on Saturday, Melbourne hosting the Sharks. I think this is one-way traffic, to be honest. I don't think they'll slip up.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
I'm personally hoping Melbourne
Yeah.
put a cricket score on them because I
Yeah.
just can't stand the Sharks.
On,
Sorry, everyone.
on this
Good.
one, I'm the only outlier. I believe it's going to be closer than you think. I actually think both teams are very well coached and very well drilled, and I think that this will be the first win for Fitzy. in the
Oh, wow.
semi-final. I really, I don't know why I believe it. I believe it because you know what?
I don't see it.
Melbourne haven't been physically tested.
They won the minor premiership.
They haven't been physically tested. When's the
In
last time?
28 rounds, they haven't been physically tested
When's the last time you've seen them tested?
every week.
Okay.
I didn't
well,
watch them play this week. So, no, I saw what am I talking about? They weren't physically tested on Thursday. Sorry, Tanya, we had to go there.
No. I
Anyway, look. You know,
yeah.
you know what? Again, when I look at both teams, I don't see any, and this time of the year, you don't see any weakness in both teams. If Nico, well, again, thank you, Manly, who got Nico into some sort of form. We got Iro, we got Jesse Raymond, this pack in. Look, yeah, absolutely. Melbourne are the runaway minor premiers, but let's see what happens when they get into a grind, and they get into a grind, and they get into a grind, and let's see what happens.
You know what? Ryan Papp and Welsh are back for the Storm, whereas
Mm.
Cronulla more or less full strength. The matchups I'm looking forward to are Jerome Hughes and Nico Hines.
Yeah.
And the other one, which two back rows I love, are Brinton Akora and Elise Katoa.
Oh,
Hines
Both
playing against his former club.
Cracker
Oh.
forwards.
Yeah.
I can't see anything but a Melbourne win, but Melbourne lost to St George. They're beatable, man. If St George can beat them.
Hines playing against
I
his
know.
former club.
But Sharks, I don't know about the Sharks, man. They're a weird team.
You know what?
They are a weird
They
team.
can't go bang bang.
Yeah. But they went on a run of about 7 wins from 8, or no, sorry, 8 losses from something like 10 games, something. They went through a really bad patch. So
You know,
they've got a bad game in them as well, man. A lot of
I-
bad games in them. So
I believe Fitzy has changed his mindset. He's talking about not getting respect. I think they're going to go down an ambush. Okay, now if they can do it, I don't know, but I think they got that mindset. let's go and ambush them.
That's
La-
just
by
help
the way,
Bellamy.
by the way,
Not motivate his guys more.
can I just say something? The last time that Melbourne lost was in Melbourne from the Sharks.
That was a close one. That was
yeah.
Before, they lost at home. The only times they lost at home this year, I was just having a look to remind myself.
I think Munster was out. Hughes was out. I think they had a few out.
Dragons and Sharks.
Yeah.
So
What did the
knowing,
Dragons do? Put it on physically.
Yeah.
They're beatable.
Yeah.
Just gotta put on-
unless they're like, this is what you get for beating us in round 10.
this is the semi-final, and it's at home, and it's going to be a different. You're not going to see the team that lost against the Dragons, no offense, or the team that lost against whoever. It's going to be a different game.
I'm so excited. What a great weekend for the
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's the best. It's the best
Th-
weekend.
This is the game Munster's going to come back to form you watch.
Maybe.
Because he's been quiet. He's been too quiet for me.
Yeah.
All those things happen. There's no other winner.
Yeah.
If all those things you talk about happen, Adi, there's no other winner. But like the Roosters one, I've got this. I don't know. They're up there. It's their time to win a game. You know what I mean? It's their time. It's their time. And you know what? Halftime 24-0, and I'll be ringing Tanya saying, "Tanya, what's happening?" So I don't know. What's happening?
Let's go to Townsville. The last time, and I actually haven't showed you these pictures for very fun. The last time I was there, George, I sent you a photo of me kneeling JT in the nuts, the statue. Yeah,
That's right.
kneeing him in the balls. I thought it was funny. Everyone else did. Anyway, Cowboys at home to the Knights.
Wow.
That's
gonna be
a
cracking.
no-brainer,
To
in my
me,
opinion.
I reckon it's a cracker. I reckon both teams can turn it on.
I reckon the Knights are going to melt like butter in the humidity of Townsville.
Drinky versus Ponga, Valentine Holmes versus Gagai, Frizzell versus Nanai. You've got some good
Gonna be a
matchups.
good game.
If
Yeah.
these guys turn it up, they can do anything. In the Knights, I think they won their first game last year, didn't they? In the finals, and then they lost the second.
Yes.
So they've got
Yeah.
that experience, so they know what they're doing. I reckon they're going to surprise you, and they could still a victory,
But
but
the
I'm still going to go Cowboys.
I know it's
I don't trust Cowboys.
I know the games I'm about to mention weren't semi-finals, but the Cowboys have had a few disappointing nights
Yeah.
at home in the past month or so. But
Exactly.
this is, I think, after what they did to the Bulldogs, I think they're priming
Yeah.
to
Quality
give
team.
it a real swing.
I'd love to see the Cowboys win. They're so good, exciting team, but I don't know. Just sometimes I can just put a bad performance in out of nothing.
That stadium up there, like they've obviously lost at home, but that is, especially this weekend, that's going to be wild. Like that, and I reckon 100% they're going to win.
Yeah.
100%.
George,
You know what? For the Knights, it's one word: Ponga.
Yeah.
If he turns up and says, "Today we're going to win,"
He's from there, isn't he?
is he a North Queenslander? Is he
Yeah.
from North Queensland?
Yeah,
Carol?
I think so.
That's where he came from.
Yeah.
no, he plays for Queensland.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he rocks up and decides that today we're going to win, no one can stop him. Honestly, all they have to do is put him in positions. Okay, but if you put in the factor of the heat,
Do they have any fitness concerns?
I think they're all good. They're all
Yeah,
good.
they're all I checked.
I
Is
do.
Best playing?
Yes, Best is
Yep.
playing, and Gay guys in some rare form. Sharp is scoring more tries than anyone these days. I like the combination of Cogger and Crossland, and you know what? Cogger last week showed me the Cogger of Penrith. He was very direct, and everything he did was precise. So maybe you can keep on. And this pack is solid. So look, I don't think there's going to be much in it, but if you look at the Heat, if you look at the Cowboys are the best team with ball in hand, I believe. And if they can reproduce the defensive effort they gave against the Dogs, and you know what, Nanai, my God, I mean, not
Taking all the flowers, guys. Full bouquet from you.
I'm giving a whole bouquet to this team, Tanya. They're
Getting the Valentine's Day dozen, I think. That's what they're
Okay.
getting
I
as
can
this
get
week.
anything they want because if even you know what, if Ruben Cotter plays like he did and Tom Dearden has another game like he well, you know what, he hasn't played a bad game all year, has he?
For Queensland.
Oh yeah, he did. But
Give
anyway,
those hopes.
that's a different scenario. Give me the Cowboys, Nicola. Give me the Cowboys,
right.
and I can't wait. I just can't wait.
Sunday afternoon at Homebush.
Can't wait.
This is a battle of the professor versus the Mr.
You
Popular.
reckon?
It is too. It is
Huh?
too.
The two-
George,
Like,
can you
normally,
view this?
normally we bet on first try score and all that stuff, but I'm putting a bet that Brooks is going to get injured in the warm up.
Well, I've got Matt Burton and Luke Brooks as a matchup, and the big one for me is Kikau and Olakawatu. I reckon they're going to go off at each other, man. Those two, they're going to go hard.
It's a very, very tough game to pick.
Tough game. But Seagulls destroyed them 2 weeks ago.
They both were terrible over the
They,
weekend.
they both were. Addo Carr thing just absolutely screwed things.
Well, he stood down, so he's
I
not
know,
playing.
but still, to do it this week, like he's an idiot. I don't know. That's. I feel sorry
Yeah.
for
Well,
the
I
club
mean,
and the players, the
he-
fans. He's really let them down. It's
he
just-
is an idiot.
But sorry, Addo, but bad timing.
It's a
man.
tough one to
Just
pick.
Bad timing.
George, what do you got for us?
We,
What do you
we,
think?
we know exactly how this is going to go. We know exactly how Manly's going to play. We saw it 2 weeks ago. They're not going to change it. The professor will not change
Yeah,
it.
but will the Dogs be ready for it?
Well, this is the question. And not only will they be ready, how long can they sustain that intensity? Because if they can hold off the Seagulls for 3/4 of the game, they will get them in the back of the game. Because we know we've seen it week after week after week. The Seagulls has got a soft underbelly. Okay, and we've seen it week after week after week. Not the last 2 weeks, but Canterbury, there's something about their underbelly. But can they hold them out? If they look up at half time and it's 18-4, they'll put them away. Manly will put them away. It's going to be handbags at
Oh, for sure.
it's going to be handbags at
paces.
10 paces.
Yeah.
And every Seagull player is going to be holding a baseball bat. Can Bulldogs withstand it? That's the only question. Can the Bulldogs
what's the
withstand the
answer?
pressure? Manly will win.
Yeah.
Manly will win.
Tanya, what do you think?
I'll just end with this. What Jack Gibson said: a big good player will beat a good small player every time. That's what he said.
I keep saying no one listens to me. Size does count. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tam?
I don't know, like preference on team is Manly, like if I'm looking at teams, but to win, I don't know. I think the Dogs will win.
It's a tough one to pick.
It's so
It's a
tough.
tough
It's
one to pick.
even. No,
It's a tough one to pick, yeah.
and I love DC. I love Garrick. I love Eagles. Like also that they have a maroon type jersey too. But I think the Dogs are going to
No
win.
bias there.
So look, the key for the Bulldogs is one player. Make no mistake. If Burton can kick the ball to smithereens, there was a game against Cronulla a couple of months ago. It was a cold Saturday night, misty, rainy. Every time the Dogs got their ball in bad ball, they wouldn't make more than 10 meters. But Burton would get the ball, kick it down to the Cronulla quarter, and they'll come. Then they had bad ball. They would kick it. We made no meters, and this happened for maybe 12 sets at a time, and they broke. The Sharks broke.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's what's going to have to happen. He's going to have a perfect, not only kicking game, running game. If they can do that, and if they can turn around those massive forwards, so they can go back all the time, 40 meters, and in bad ball, and come out of bad ball. Well, yes, there is strategies how they've been doing it all year to win. Can the Bulldogs get him on the edges? Yes, but wait a minute. If they get 50-50 ball, and they do what they did last week, our middles can't hold them. And I don't care what anyone tells me.
Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to sitting here talking about it next week.
I'm really looking forward to it in terms of.
I'm very burnt by how the Doggies did Broncos still in Suncorp a few rounds ago.
Yeah.
And then the subsequent games, right? Because the last 2 rounds, there's so much pressure. That's why we've seen so much weirdness, in the teams.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and maybe Addo Carr's just someone that they don't really like outwardly. The top guys might like, but maybe they're like, thank God he's not. You don't know. You genuinely don't know. So
Like I said, I'm looking forward to sitting here talking about it next week.
Well, I think Skelton's in, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Skelton.
Skelton's in.
Skelton's in. So he's another big body.
Sherry's back.
Sherry's back, and Skelton's. He's another big body. He's no Addo Carr, but he's another body who can carry the ball in bad ball. So as I call it, dirty ball. So yeah, look, let's see. Sherry's back.
It'll be a close game. I'm tipping the Eels.
Mm.
Tan, you're gonna have to leave us soon.
You're tipping the Eels.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I got
He's killing me, Tan. He's killing me too.
I gotta go, guys. But I'm on every week, and depending, I want to see how this round goes because I do want to come down and watch one of the games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Do
get
it
in your lab.
face to face there. But yeah, I'm not coming down for like a Roosters Penrith in like 2 weeks or something.
Go the Chookies.
Go
But no, I will
Yeah,
text Nick to tell you my updates throughout the week. But yeah, no, thank you. It's good to see you back too, Artie.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for
Always a
joining
pleasure
us.
to you. Always a
And
pleasure.
Thanks.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, thanks guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, T.